Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, or Teacher Kadonji, the Manju of Literature, and the young African writer, the world journalist from Shinyanga, Tanzania, the friend of Mr. Tinga Africana, Mr. Gordon School of English and Reginald Bishoza, aka Teacher on Duty. These are my fellow YouTubers, narrator, teachers of literature in English. You can visit their YouTube account by writing their names as I mentioned above. Dear listener and follower of literature analysis, I have brought you an analysis of a social poem, political poem, or economic poem. This poem is used in literature in English on the ordinary level, Form 3 and Form 4, as well as advanced level, Form 5 and Form 6, in a subject of language 2, from Tanzania. I don't know whether other countries use this poem, It More, by Corrie. Dear listener, from other countries, if you are using this poem, comment below this audio or video. The poem itself is called It More by Corrie. His full name is Joseph Corrie from South Africa. Corrie was born 13 May 1894. He was Scottish miner, poet and playwright, best known as for his radical working class plays. He was born in Slamanan, Stirlingshire. His family moved to Gadenden in the Fife coalfield when Corrie was still an infant, and he started work at the pits in 1908. He died in Edinburgh in 1968. Shortly after the First World War, Corrie started writing. His articles, sketches, short stories, and poems were published in prominent socialist newspapers and journals, including Forward and The Miner. His poem It More is commentary on poverty and government indifference. The speaker or persona is an unemployed man who struggles to provide for his family. The only slogan that would suit him is Eat More Bloody Glass. This suggests that the government is not providing adequate support for the unemployed. This poem is similar to Corrie's other works in its focus on social issues. His poetry often deals with the struggles of the working class. This poem is also representative of the time period in which it was written in the 1930s, when unemployment was widespread due to the Great Depression. The poem is written in a simple, direct style. The language is clear and concise. The rhyme scheme is simple and regular. This simplicity helps to convey the speaker's feeling of frustration and depression. Corrie composed this poem to criticize the government against hypocrites to the lower class who cannot afford balanced diet. Corrie composed this poem to warn the government about exploitation to the workers and low classes. Corrie composed this poem to educate the readers of literary poems to struggle against hypocrisy, exploitation, unemployment, betrayal, and classes. You, as the learner of literature in English and the English language later, you will be a leader somewhere. Use your knowledge and skills you have learned about leadership. Don't exploit the lower one, help them. Corrie revealed many themes in his poem, classes against government, and lower class, unemployment. The citizens were not employed by government, poverty, especially the lower class, hypocrisy, the government hypocrite the lower class to eat balanced diet. Let me read this poem. Eat more fruit The slogan say, more fish, more beef, more bread, but I'm on unemployment pay. My third year now in the world. And so I wonder when I will see the slogan when I pass, the only one that would suit me, eat more blood grass. When you read this poem, the tone of the persona or speaker is an angle and satirical, first because of slogan that tells him to eat what he cannot afford. Second, because he is in unemployed, he uses the word blood glass to show his anger and satire that is in the society with poor people, but he tells them to eat balanced diet. I, teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige. When I read this poem, I feel sad and sympathetic to the persona because of the lamentation of the speaker towards irresponsible government, hypocrite. Government make me to feel sad. Dear listeners, the types of poem according to form is traditional poem because they follow all traditional ways or rules of composing poem. Example, equal number of verses in each stanza. Stanza 1 has 4 verses and stanza 2 has 4 verses. Regular rhyme, there are repetition of similar sound at the end of each verse. Example, stanza 1 end with sound A, B, A, B. Consonant sound Y and D. Y stand for A and D stand for B. Also, according to content, is lyric poem because they show strong feelings to the speaker towards the exploitation done by the government. Dear listener, poetic devices is one of the poetic term which help the learners, teachers to interpret the poem. We interpret the poem by defining 3 categories: structural devices, sound or musical devices, and sense or literary devices. Structural devices, this device helps to identify the structure of the poem. It includes the number of stanzas. This poem has 2 stanzas. Number of verses. This poem has 8 verses. Another structural device is repetition of words. Example, eat, more, slogan. Another structural device is punctuation mark. Example, there is a full stop, comma, exclamation mark. Example from the poem, say. The second poetic device is sound device, includes rhyme. It is a regular rhyme. The sound ends with A, B, A, B in stanza 1, but in stanza 2, C, D, C, D. And also there is a rhythm. It is a regular rhythm. Example, verse 1 in stanza 1. Eat more, fruit, the slogan, say. The word eat more has 1 syllable, which is weak syllable. The word fruit is strong syllable. The word slogan is weak syllable. And the word say is strong syllable. That's why I say it is regular rhythm, WS, WS, the flow sound, flow parallel. Another sound device is alteration. That is a repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words in a verse. Example from the poem, the slogan say, the consonant sound is repeated at the beginning. Another sound device is consonants. This is the repetition of consonant sound at the end of the word in a verse. Example, my say dear now and word. The consonant sound D repeated at the end. The last poetic device is sense devices or literary devices. Example, personification. The word the slogan say, the slogan cannot say. This we call it personification. Another sense device is symbolism. The word bloody glass symbolizes vegetable. And the last sense device is imageal. There is a visual image. Example, in our minds, when you read this poem, you create a mental picture about fish, beef, and bread. This poem is still relevant to our society. There are many commercial slogans of all sorts heard on radios or TV that advertise different goods and services, claiming that they are cheap and affordable by everyone. The fact is, in the society, not all people can afford to buy or use every product or service. This includes beverage, hardware, mobile phone, bundles, furniture, electronic services like education and health in private schools and hospitals, respectively. This service and product are class-oriented. I have reached the end of the narration of this poem, Eat More, by Corrie from South Africa. I ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel titled Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige. I wish you a good day. Thanks for listening. This poem, Eat More. My name is Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, or Teacher Kadonji, the literature teacher from Queen of Peace Girls Secondary School, Ndega, Tabora.